I want to show you something quite spectacular.
And just up the hill, it really is quite something. This is like the set of a futuristic movie.
It's actually a very impressive and quite unique science park, with all kinds of exhibits for visitors to experience hands-on science. And these strange green domes contain enormous telescopes designed to explore the universe. They were once the heart of one of the most advanced astronomy sites in the world. So how did they get here, and what became of it? Our story starts in London in 1675. King Charles II wanted to improve navigation for sailors because too many ships were getting lost and wrecked. So the Royal Greenwich Observatory was built, and from here, astronomers created the principle of longitude and Greenwich Mean Time. Greenwich led the world in astronomy, but by the 20th century, pollution from smoke and streetlights made it redundant.
So the decision was made to build a brand new state-of-the-art facility in the countryside, and the grounds of Herstmonceux Castle were chosen. However, when the first dome appeared on the horizon, the local residents weren't that happy. In fact, they were upset. They thought it looked ugly. And it ruined the peacefulness, the tranquility of the medieval castle and its surrounding area.
So the architects went back to the drawing board and redesigned the project to make it into something more in keeping with the area. The buildings were clad with local Sussex brick, similar to Herstmonceux Castle. The copper domes were coated with a chemical to turn them green quicker, helping to blend in with the countryside. In 1957, the site was finished, looking quite beautiful and distinct. Telescopes from Greenwich were brought down and carefully installed into their new country homes. Each dome containing a different kind of telescope for studying the cosmos, with grand names like the Astrographic and the Yap Reflector.
And my favourite is this, the Thompson refractor. For over 100 years, this has photographed the sky at night. Now, this can snap photographs of the stars 100,000 times fainter than what we can see with our naked eye at night. That is very faint.
This was the golden age of the Royal Observatory. At its peak, with over 200 people working here, it was the largest facility of its kind in the world. Scientists led the way in research, including finding the first ever black hole. And not surprisingly, the site was a popular destination for one of the longest running TV series in the world, presented by legendary Sir Patrick Moore.
This is Herstmonceux Castle, astronomically the most famous castle in the world. It's the headquarters of the Royal Greenwich Observatory. As the name suggests, the Greenwich Observatory was originally in Greenwich Park. This is a big telescope and very suitable for this kind of work, but of course it's also very much of a precision instrument. And by remote control, as Diane is doing here, you can point it exactly in the right direction.
Even playing a special part in the nation's timekeeping.
Now, do you recognise this sound? Listen. Yes, that's the BBC pips. Now, they were generated from the observatory's incredibly accurate atomic clock that was based here, then transmitted to the BBC to be used on TV and radio sets.
The medieval estate of Herstmonceux Castle had truly become a part of the modern world.
But this golden period was short-lived. 30 years after the Royal Observatory opened its doors here at Herstmonceux, it was almost made redundant. The large telescopes were moved out, and in 1990 it closed its doors, leaving just the old historic telescopes.
The site reopened in 1995 in its current reincarnation, a science centre open to the public. Dr. Sandra Voss helps run the centre.
The Royal Observatory in London was established for over 300 years, but it only lasted 30 years here. Why is that?
Well, the reason why it came out here in the first place was the light pollution and air pollution from London. And it only lasted 30 years here, really because the light pollution was encroaching again. Astronomers now do all their research in La Palma, but we've still got all the telescopes here.
I mean, it seems such a shame, but I know you've put the whole area to good use, haven't you? I mean, it's not being wasted. Things are still happening.
Yes, things are still happening, and we've brought the astronomy back. We've got 3 of the historic telescopes working, so the general public can come and have a look through these telescopes when we've got open evenings. We're trying to inspire the next generation in science, not just in astronomy, but in science in general.
I've been inspired looking at those telescopes, so it's a brilliant thing.
Going from the world's foremost astronomy site to an inspiring science park might be a bit of a step down for these magnificent telescopes, but it's not all over for serious astronomical research on the Herstmonceux estate. Take a look at this. Tucked away in a quiet corner of the grounds, not far from the green domes, this special telescope is the only working leftover from the Royal Observatory days. Dr. Graham Appleby has worked here at Herstmonceux since 1969.
Graham, hi there.
Hello, hi.
This looks pretty impressive. It looks like something out of a Bond movie set.
What we're doing with this telescope is tracking satellites in orbit around the Earth.
How many satellites will be up there that you
We'll
can
be
track?
tracking something like 50 or 60 during a night.
Oh, that's a lot.
And the laser's firing at 2,000 shots per second.
Wow.
We're getting a lot of data.
So it hits the satellite and then bounces back?
Bounces back, and we time how long it takes to do that. This is essential support for navigation as we know it on the surface of the Earth these days. GPS in our cars and our aircraft all depend on support from stations like this.
So really the Royal Observatory was set up to help sailors navigate the oceans, and now in a slightly different way, but helping us to get around.
Precisely, yes. It's a good legacy of that original 300-year-old setup at Greenwich.
It's great to have a chat with you, Graham, and I'll let you carry on. I know you can't do an awful lot with the cloud cover, but I'm sure there's plenty of other things
There
to do.
certainly are plenty of things to do, yes.
Thank you very much.
Very nice to meet you, Paul.
The story of Britain's Royal Observatory is a tale of one of the most famous scientific institutions in the world for over 300 years. And in this quiet corner of Sussex is a testament to mankind's obsession with the stars, with space, with the whole universe, and our place in it.